Well, I think we'll go ahead and get started, and people sign on, while we're getting going here. So during the class, exactly. So welcome to our 5th week of Smoothie Sistas Live. Thank you so much for joining myself and my assistant here. Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name
This is Hayden, Princess Hayden. She came from the other room. She had her crown on. She had a dress on. She was like ready to rock and roll here. I can't do this without her, right? Last week, we had a special guest on, Tanya Willis. She was author of Cookie Dough in the Dark and taught us a little bit about how to curb our sugar cravings. So it was really nice to have her on. And tonight we're very excited to be able to offer a new recipe for you, and we hope you enjoy it. So before we get started making the smoothie, I wanted to give a quick story of how we got to be where we are right now. But my sister Miriam and I, we really wanted to open up a fast food healthy joint for over a decade. And in the summer of last year, I finally left my career in the beer business. And I say career, I was in the beer business for 14 years. And I left, and it was a perfect time to put our plan together and to build this dream. And really, our mission is to offer a healthy alternative to fast food. So we finally opened in March of this year, and I'm sure that you know where we're going. We also closed in March of this year. That was not in our original business plan. We will be opening again at some point, but really Smoothie Sistas evolved from that. We wanted to be able to still continue on with our mission, even though we had to close our doors due to this pandemic. So this is a free event. You know, we're very happy to just continue with our mission and to continue to grow the community. And one of the things that I really love about Smoothie Sistas is that you don't have to be in Miami to be a part of this. You can be all over. We've had people from Australia, from Canada, and all different parts of the United States. So really just happy to be able to continue to build that community. So if you know anyone that is interested, please let them know about this class. And if they give us their email, we will go ahead and send them the Zoom links, and they'll get the free recipes as well, even if they can't join during this time. Some people have reached out to see how they can help out. If you would like to donate, we did set up a Venmo and a PayPal at Ginger and Juice Bar, and my sister Miriam will be putting the links for that. And without that, I think, are we ready to get going? Yeah. Yes? Okay. So let's see here. Oh, you know what? I did want to mention also the chat feature. So if you have any questions whenever we're going through the smoothie, please just put those in the chat, and we'll go ahead and get to those during the segment. If we aren't able to get to your question, when I send out that recipe after class, I'll make sure to address anything at that time. So, and I will actually, I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone just so we can hear. And then feel free to just put any questions or anything in that in the chat. Everybody's muted. All right, perfect. Putting on speaker mode there. I think we're all ready to rock and roll, Hayden. Okay. Sorry, give us just a second. I'll make sure we got. Yes. Okay. So I always like to start off with where did I get the inspiration for the recipe for this week? So for this week, my inspiration comes from the upcoming holiday, Mother's Day, right, Hayden? Yeah. We're very excited. And really just in general, just to celebrate all the women in our lives. So this recipe, we made sure that the color is a little bit pinkish red to symbolize love. And there's some different treats in there, and also a special garnish at the end to help us think of Mother's Day. Also, for those of you who got the email with the ingredients, you noticed that there was one ingredient I left out. And that was our secret ingredient, which for this class is aloe vera. I don't know if anyone has tried aloe vera in their smoothie before, but keeping with the theme, my very special friend, Alexa, who I actually met on the school bus in kindergarten, and we ended up moving to Miami 20 years later together. She has a nice aloe vera plant, and she was able to give us a nice big piece of that. So in kind of the spirit of, you know, celebrating the women in our life, I thought, what a special ingredient to go ahead and put in there. So we are going to be adding aloe vera. And on that note, also for those who know me, know I love my puns or my dad jokes. So this smoothie is called, do you remember what it's called, Hayden? No? It's called I'll love you very much. You get it? I'll love you very much. So that's the name of this smoothie.
Instead, I love you.
Instead of I love you, exactly. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so the first ingredient, we are going to be putting in a product called Joy. I want to make sure you guys can see that. So with every smoothie we do, it's always going to be vegan. And it normally has a different type of milk, whether it be a hemp milk or an oat milk or almond milk, cashew, etc. And you can really substitute those out for whatever you may have at home. This week, we're going to be using Joy, which is a very special local product where there's only one ingredient in it, and that ingredient is almond. So it's a whole food, which we love. And then we also talk a lot about being eco-friendly. So this tiny little container has 27 cups of almond milk. So all you need is 1 tablespoon of the paste, and then you go ahead and mix it with 1 cup of water. And the other really cool thing about it is it's always fresh because you don't have to make it in advance. We use this at the juice bar, and we do make it in advance because we're making a lot of smoothies. But for at home, if you only are making smoothies every so often, you can really just add 1 tablespoon right into the blender with that cup of water. And we always add our liquids to the blender first to make sure that nothing kind of gets caught up in those blades. So Hayden, you want to go ahead and add our 1 cup of water, and then we'll add 1 tablespoon of the Joy. And if you'd like to check them out, you can go to addjoy.com, or you can also check them out on Instagram or Facebook. Thank you, Hayden. Be careful not to spill, right? So let me get a tablespoon. This is a little bit messy, so I'll do this one, baby. So you can see it's got a little bit of oil in it. It's got the paste. It kind of
looks like the color of a banana.
It does look a little bit like the color of a banana, which is a great segment into our next ingredient, which is a banana. So you'll notice that almost all of my smoothies, I put a banana in it. Bananas are one of the most popular, if not the most popular fruit in the world, and rightfully so. I mean, a banana is definitely a superfood. It has packed with so many different nutrients, and I know for those of you who have been on this class a few different times, I've taken you through a lot of what this has in it. It has manganese, potassium, the list goes on. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about when is that banana ripe? And bananas, you definitely need some patience. So if you go to the store and you get that banana that's very green, or even just a little bit green and the skin is still too firm, you want to be patient. You want to wait until the skin is all the way yellow with just a couple brown spots. The brown means that the sugar is starting to rise. And if you do eat the banana too early, not only does it not taste as good, it's also very starchy and it's hard for your body to digest. So, you know, patience is a virtue, and that does go into play with bananas as well. A couple of things I want to know. If you have a lot of bananas that are already ripe, a couple of things you can do. You can freeze them, so just peel them, dice them up, and put them in your freezer. You can use those for a smoothie later on. Or you can also put those whole with the skin on right into your refrigerator. Now, and then you'll want to eat them within a day or two. The skin is going to change, so it might not look good, but it's going to keep that same consistency, and it will still taste very good. It'll just be a little bit colder than what you might be used to when you eat a banana. Now, on the reverse side of that, and it's funny because my sister Laura, who's the middle, she's in between Miriam and I, who are the ones that started Ginger and Juice Bar, she actually texted us a couple days ago, I have these bananas, I've had them for a week, they're still green, I don't know what to do with them. And I said, wow, you gotta join my class on Wednesday. We're gonna be talking about this. But I will share with you, if you have bananas and you just don't have time to be patient, what you can do is you can put those bananas in a paper bag. You're want to loosely cover the top of it, not very tight. And you're gonna wanna put something ripe in there. So whether it be another bunch of bananas, couple bananas, an apple, something like that, and it releases a gas that will make your bananas ripen a little bit faster. So there's a little tip and trick about how to get it to ripen faster or how to slow that down. So that being said, now 5 minutes into bananas, I told you these are a superfood. There's a lot to talk about. We're gonna add this to the blender. All right. I'm gonna add that in. All right, and what's next here? We've got, good job, Hayden. We have our strawberries. All right, and actually before I go into this next ingredient, sticking with the theme of Mother's Day and getting flowers and roses, one of the ingredients that we are using today actually comes from the rose family. And I'd love for you guys, if you want to go to the chat, don't Google this. I want to see who knows or who's good at guessing. Tell me which one of these three things is part of the rose family. Is it chia seeds? Is it raspberries? Or is it the aloe vera? Which one of those three things is part of the rose family? Go ahead and take a guess, or you might already know. So while you're doing that, I'm going to talk about strawberries. Strawberries are really one of my favorite fruits. I was very into strawberry shortcake as a child, not the dessert, the actual child. I remember I had sheets with strawberry shortcake on them. So maybe I was destined to love strawberries. But strawberries are a great fruit. They're low in sugar, and they have a lot of antioxidants in them. There are over 600 varieties of strawberries. So these are really great if you're trying to watch your sugar intake, but you still want fruit in your diet, or also if you're a diabetic. So we're gonna go ahead, we're putting half a cup of frozen strawberries. If you only have fresh strawberries, go ahead and put fresh in. You can really sub out fresh and frozen for however you'd like. So this is gonna be our next ingredient that's going in. Thank you, Hayden. Careful.
Does it spell raspberry?
R-A-S. R-A-S-P.
All right, so our next ingredient is raspberries, okay? And they're a little bit smashed, yes. These are frozen raspberries. We're gonna put half a cup of frozen raspberries into the blender. Raspberries, kind of keeping with the theme of talking a little bit about fruit that goes bad and how to keep it for longer. Raspberries do not have a very long shelf life to them. So if you do buy a lot of raspberries or you go picking raspberries and you get a lot, just go ahead and freeze them. They freeze really well and then they're perfect for smoothies. Raspberries are small, but they're full of nutrients. They have a lot of fiber in them, which is good. And they also have a lot of vitamin C. And this is also, just like strawberries, a fruit that is low in sugar, but very, very tasty. So I also wanted to check the chat here because this is the fruit that is in the rose family. I don't know who got it right, but even if you look at a raspberry, my raspberries are a little bit smushed because they were in the freezer, but they do resemble a rose. So let's see who got that right. We've got Marley said chia, Laura aloe, Carolyn said chia, Miss Johandra said chia, and Meredith and Amalia, they said raspberries. Nice job there. All right, perfect.
Raspberry.
My brother.
I guess that.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put half a cup of those raspberries right into the blender. All right, Hayden. Let's see what our next ingredient is here. Next we have aloe vera. All right, so as I had talked about at the beginning of class, the secret ingredient for today's smoothie is aloe vera. Aloe vera is amazing. It's really good for your skin. It helps prevent wrinkles. It's like, sign me up for that stuff. It has antibacterial properties, which is good. And really it lasts, once you cut this off the branch, it lasts for really a couple months in the fridge. You just want to cut off the edge of it because it will dry out just a little bit. And then you basically cut around the skin of the aloe. It's very easy to do. And then you get a fruit that, well, it's not a fruit, it's a succulent, but you get that's a little bit like sticky consistency, almost like a honey, I would say, or like if you boil sugar with water, it would be that type of consistency. So we're gonna put in, really you could do 1 to 2 ounces of aloe vera. Again, I'm guessing not a lot of you just have aloe vera sitting around unless you might have this succulent at your house. This isn't optional. You don't have to put it in. It just has some added benefits. So if you'd like to, this is really great to add. So we're going to go ahead and add 2 big chunks, which is about 2 ounces of the aloe vera. Good job, Hayden. Awesome.
Sticking to the hole.
It's sticking? Yeah, it's okay. It's a little sticky.
I'm gonna do
All right, and then our next addition is going to be avocado. So really you can add fresh or frozen avocado. We had some leftover avocado from our Cinco de Mayo celebrations yesterday, so figured I'd go fresh. Avocado is just an awesome thing to add to your smoothie, especially if it's a meal replacement. It has a lot of healthy fats in it. It really just makes that smoothie more fulfilling. And it gives it a very smooth consistency. Also, when you're giving your children smoothies, this is great because if they don't like avocado, they don't know that it's in there. You really just don't taste it and you get all those added nutrients. So we love adding avocados to our smoothie, but also our kids, you guys like avocado, right? Mm-hmm. We're an avocado family. So I'm from Arizona, so we like those avocados. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and add half of that right in there. Okay. All right. And the last thing we're gonna add before we blend this up is chia seeds. For those of you who have been on before, you know I usually add a chia seed or flax seed, sometimes a protein powder into the blender. It's like, why not add just another scoop of nutrition? Chia seeds, they're small, but they're packed full of nutrients. One of the things that I love about them, they have the omega-3 fatty acids. And really the great thing about that is it raises that good cholesterol. So it's very good for you. There's 2 different types of chia seeds. There's the black and the white. Really, there's not a lot of difference between the 2 of them, except of course the color. And then the white chia seed, which is the one that I have here tonight, it tends to be a little bit bigger. So I guess they say go big or go home. We went big. We also went home because it's COVID. So we did both. And so that's the chia seed. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of that chia seed right into the blender. Want to use this one? Okay. I'm going to use that. Okay. And let's see. All right. So now we're really ready to blend this up. Most blenders that you have at home, they're going to have a setting on it that says smoothie. If they don't, you can use really like an ice crush setting. Really anything's gonna get the job done. There's not a ton of frozen stuff in here. And the raspberries and strawberries, they blend up very easily together. So don't forget the top. We're gonna go.
That way it doesn't go all over.
That way it doesn't go all over the place, right? You're gonna turn that on. And wait, before you do that, baby, while she's blending, I'm gonna go ahead and check the chat, see if there's any questions or anything. And again, anything that we don't get to during this period, I'll make sure to address at the end. So why don't we blend her up? Oh, and you wanna hold the top, baby? Perfect, and let's go ahead and check the chat here. I know we had a few different things. Let's see. All right. Yes, Carolyn Naylor, thank you. Joy also has a cashew, and both are very, very good products. Yes, Marley asked if you could make almond milk with the Joy product, and it does exactly that. So instead of making it ahead of time, what we do is just add the paste and the water right to the blender, and that way it's done in one step, and you don't have to wash the blender twice. Uh-oh, my sister Laura said she made the mistake with 2 green bananas, so I think you weren't patient enough and you ate those, Laura. You didn't listen to the smoothie system. What can I say? Carla, the web address for Joy, that's ADDJOY, JOI.com. And do they sell it at Whole Foods for Joy? I'm not 100%, Miss Johanna. I'll get back to you on the Joy product. I know that they sell that online. No, it's perfect like that. And let's see. Should you freeze raspberries separately so they don't freeze together? Marley, I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. If you want to specify that question.
Yeah, like when you freeze it,
can you repeat?
throw them in a bag, or do you separate them? Because like with some things, like if you freeze garbanzos you just made, you have to put them on a sheet and then put them together.
Yeah, so for the raspberries, you know, since you're not really trying to make them pretty or anything, I just put them in a bag, you know, a freezer safe bag so that they don't get the freezer burn, and we just throw them in. They don't have to look pretty. Now, if you're going to be using them to put them on a smoothie bowl or something like that, you'll definitely want to freeze them so they keep their nice, I guess, rose shape, right? And then let's see how we separated the skin to get inside that aloe gel. So really, it looks like it would be difficult, but you almost are just cutting around. If you've ever peeled or cut around a mango, I would say it's pretty much like that. You would just cut around the skin for that aloe, and then you'll pull out the gel from it, and it really stays right in that square consistency. Oh, Christina is on from Joy. Hi, Christina, how are you? It is not sold at Whole Foods. It's only sold on Amazon, and then of course on the website, which is addjoy.com, ADDJOI. And yes, I believe the almonds are organic, but Christina, since you're on, if you want to, oh, there's a conventional, she did mention there's a conventional or organic Joy, so you can pick either one. So awesome. Christina, I'm so glad you were on. Thank you for your help. All right. We're gonna go ahead now and pour this into our cup. So we have the cup right here. You can see that this is just a beautiful color, pinkish red, which is really nice for Mother's Day. And we always put a reusable straw in our cups. We use eco-friendly at the bar. You can also purchase different straws there, but really Marley, who's on tonight, she shared just a very impactful video a couple nights ago. And it was essentially some boaters had went out, and there was a sea turtle that they rescued, and there was something in his nose. They thought it was a worm. They thought it was something out. And as they started to get it out, they realized it was a plastic straw. So they were able to rescue him. They got him breathing again and let him go back into the ocean. But, you know, a lot of times we don't think about that. We want something and we want to drink it out of a straw, but it's really not good for the environment. It's not good for the animals. And there are so many ways to get these reusable straws now, and so many places sell those. So sorry, that's my little soapbox. Well, really sorry, not sorry, my soapbox on reusable straws. And oh, that is just so good. I feel like I always say, like, that's so good. But those of you who are following along with me, it really is so delicious. Let's let Hayden do a taste test here. Oh, we got the thumbs up. So in our house, when we have dinner time, the kids either do a thumbs up or they'll go like this if like the dinner's so-so, or like if they really were not happy, it's a thumbs down. I don't get the thumbs down too much, right? No, it's usually like the thumbs up or like this. But when the smoothie is thumbs up, I'm happy, right? All right, good. So that's our recipe. And then also in the theme of Mother's Day, my mother-in-law has a beautiful garden, and she told me last night she was looking into getting chickens, which is really cool. So we are going to, I don't know if you know this also, but roses, orchids, different types of flowers, they're all edible. You can eat all of these things. And oh, Hayden's over here just chugging on the smoothie. But before you finish that, I just wanted to show you how pretty you can make that look. Really, and it just adds such a nice touch, and it just looks so nice. So even though we're sitting and enjoying Mother's Day at home, we can still be fancy. We can still drink it with our pinkies up. And if you are following along at home, please tag us at Ginger N Juice Bar. Share us on your story. Let your friends and family know about our class. Oh, she is like poking me over here, like wants everything to do with this smoothie. And other than that, the only thing I wanted to mention is since Sunday is Mother's Day, we're going to be skipping that episode. And so our next class is going to be hosted by me and Hayden again. And it's going to be at 7 p.m. So just an FYI, we are skipping Sunday's class. And we appreciate so much everyone who is on. And we hope you enjoyed tonight.